When it comes to running a successful freelance business, there's typically two approaches. The first approach is doing small projects, charging relatively small amount, but doing lots and lots and lots of those. And the other approach is typically doing very small amount of projects, but charging lots per project. In this video, I want to give you the 4 reasons why you should be on the premium side of your pricing. And I'll also give you my thoughts on what steps that you can take to actually make that transition from small ticket, small dollar projects all the way over to the big ticket, premiumly priced projects as a freelancer. Now, before I get into this, I want to talk about what do I actually mean by premium prices, because it's going to be relative depending on what sort of service you're offering. I've seen some people in the web design industry doing freelance web design or freelance, something on the higher end side of things, and they're charging like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for a project or more in the logo design space, graphic design. Those are the areas I don't have much expertise in. I'm more of the working class freelancer. I don't work with big corporate budgets. So I'm talking more about the $1,000 to $3,000 plus per project is what I mean by premium. Ideally, no less than $3,000 per project if you can get away with it. So that's what I mean by premium priced projects. So really the example I'm going to use in this video is the $500 project versus the $5,000 project and what that means for you moving forward if you can get less of those $500 projects and more of those $5,000 projects as a freelancer. If $5,000 is so much money that you're just like, Brian, there's no way in the world I could ever charge that, stick around because A, you can kind of bring that price down to whatever makes sense for you as far as premium pricing goes. But B, some of the things I talk about at the end of this video will be helpful for you to actually make the shift to where you can start upping that rate over time. Reason number 1 why you should be charging premium prices for your services is that it is just as much work to close a $500 client as it is to close a $5,000 client. Let me say that one more time. It's just as much work, it's just as much effort to close someone for a $500 project as it is for a $5,000 project. And if you think through why that is, it starts to make sense. Whenever you close a client, no matter how big the project is, there's a certain amount of work that goes into everything from the first time they contact you for your rates, to putting together a proposal if you do that workflow, to getting on the phone to talk through the project, to do a discovery call if you use that workflow, to then onboarding the client, to getting client agreements, and all this stuff, and the back and forth emails for everything, all this stuff eats up time. So all of that, whether it's a $500 project or a $5,000 project, doesn't really change the amount of work and effort that goes into it. The amount you get paid, however, changes significantly. 10 times the price does not mean 10 times the effort. And a lot of times, 10 times the price is the same amount of effort. Now, I'm talking mostly on the front end here. Don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that a $5,000 project is less work or the same amount of work as a $500 project, although that can be the case sometimes. What I am saying is that actually closing the deal, getting someone to hand over $500 is just as much work as getting someone to hand over $5,000. And there's a psychological impact as well that people don't consider. So if you have ever actually closed somebody on a $500 project, chances are you have the capability to close a $5,000 project as well. It's just as much work. The second reason you should be charging premium prices as a freelancer is that premium clients, people who paid you a lot of money, are less of a PITA, P-I-T-A, pain in the... Yeah. And there's a meme I love, and I'm pretty sure everyone has seen this. And if you haven't, then this is it right here. It just says, the $500 client says, I feel as though with this investment I'm about to make in you, that we should understand how our lives are about to change, and I need results, and you need to bring them. I'm entrusting you with our livelihood and our lives. The $50,000 client says, money sent, thanks. Now, while this meme is not 100% accurate, it's pretty accurate. I've seen this in my own businesses, whether it's in my Airbnb, whether it's in my recording studio, whether it's in my courses, whether it's in really anything I've ever done where I've priced projects on the premium side and on the low side, because I've made mistakes in my past too. Don't believe that I'm perfect here. I will say, the people who are scraping the bottom of the barrel, looking for the cheapest deal possible, are always the biggest headaches possible. They always ask for more. They always want more revisions from you. They always want more added extras for no additional cost. And they always tend to have skewed expectations. And that they talked about it in the meme where he's like, I feel like this investment is about to change our lives forever. I need you to bring me results because I'm staking my life on this. They think that they're the type of person that back in my music production days when I was still recording bands, they were the bands that thought I was going to come in and make them a massive rock star. I remember a quote I got years ago where someone said they're the next big thing and that I should be so lucky as to produce their band and that they're going to be signed and start touring the world and then they're going to bring me along for the ride. And I listened to their music and they're awful and their budget was tiny. And this is a really good example of what this is talking about here. Small projects, small dollar projects, and cheap clients are a big PITA. All right, number 3, the third reason why you should be charging premium prices for your projects as a freelancer is that the path to 6 figures is much easier. It's much clearer. And I'm going to use the example of the $500 project to the $5,000 project on what it looks like to earn 6 figures as a freelancer. This is the 6 Figure Creative YouTube channel you're watching right now. We also have the 6 Figure Creative podcast. 6 figures is just a good goal to have as a freelancer. This is not a goal that you have to have. Let me make that clear. And money isn't everything. That's absolutely for sure. But if you want to make a living and you want to make 6 figures, the path to 6 figures is much more clear when doing premium price projects versus these small nickel and dime projects. And I want to show you a math example. I hate doing math, but sometimes you have to do math to make a point. If you're trying to earn $100,000 a year with $500 clients, here's what the math looks like. That means you need to find 200 clients per year, which is insane. 200 clients per year, you have to have a really good marketing machine to even get that in the first place. So that's really roadblock number 1 to low project pricing, is that you have to be able to find 200 clients a year, which is impossible for most freelancers. That boils down to 17 clients per month. It's actually like 16.6 or something like that, but let's just say, for sake of math, 17 clients per month. That is more than 1 project every 2 days. So can you even think for a moment of trying to deliver on a new project every 2 days, even a little more than that, but every 2 days you're having to send in a deliverable to a client, and then you're having to do the next client over the next 2 days while you're doing revisions on the last client, and then you're having to do the next client after 2 more days while you're doing revisions on the last 2 clients, and so on and so forth. And then you wrap up a project. Can you imagine how many balls you're going to drop when you're trying to do your business this way? Like, this is an impossible workload. And that's not even counting the juggling of the marketing machine to bring in all this work in the first place. So you're going to have these ridiculous feast and famine cycles where you're like, oh, I don't have any clients. I need to go market, and I'm going to go market, and I'm dropping the ball on my clients because now I'm starting to get clients. So now I need to focus back on the client work. And this is really bad, up and down roller coaster of a life that I don't want for me, and I really don't want for you. Now let's compare this to the premium priced projects, the $5,000 projects. If you're trying to earn $100,000 a year with $5,000 projects, that means you need 20 clients per year. That is less than 2 clients per month. You see how much easier that is? You see how much better that just feels? How much less stressful that is as a freelancer? Can you juggle 2 clients per month? Can you juggle a small handful of leads and conversations you're having? Like, this is so much easier of a business to run if you're on the premium side, as opposed to trying to juggle $500 projects. Now, the fourth and final reason why you should be charging premium prices for your services is that it is more rewarding. And the last point, I just painted the whole picture of what it looks like to do low price projects. Just the amount of stress, the amount of moving parts, the amount of attention you're able to give one little client is nothing. It's like, it's virtual. It's a puff in the wind. You can't change lives or do anything rewarding, in my opinion, on doing tiny little $500 projects if you're trying to make a full-time living or 6 figures as a freelancer. So when you do premium, it's actually rewarding because you can spend time with your clients. You get to know them. You get to understand what they need. You can deliver on the things that they actually want versus trying to churn everyone through this machine that you've built, because that's the only way you can keep the 6-figure machine running. And the result of this, the result of charging more, is that you actually get to take your clients through a full transformation. And that's the word. That's the key here, transformation. If you don't feel like the service that you offer right now is transformational, it's taking someone from where they are now to where they want to be in some way, shape, or form, whether it's financially or whether it's with self-actualization, meaning like some sort of artistic or goal tied to their ego even sometimes. If it doesn't take them through some sort of transformation, you're going to have a really tough time charging a premium price. So these two things go hand in hand. It's more rewarding because you're taking someone through a transformation. You can charge more because you're taking someone through a transformation, and you can spend more time taking someone through the transformation, which makes this whole process easier. So it's a self-fulfilling loop here. You can charge more because you've helped someone transform their life or their business or their music or whatever it is that they're doing. And that transformation leads to more fulfillment from you, which keeps you from burnout, which allows you to then go out and actually build your business even more. So it's this wonderful virtuous cycle. So if you feel like you're stuck in your business, you feel like you can't charge a premium price, you feel like you're the person who's just gravitated towards the low pricing because of your lack of confidence for what you do, maybe it's imposter syndrome, this is the key to fixing that. It's taking someone through a full transformation, and it starts with what you actually offer. Now, I'll have a video on this in the future on how to actually have an irresistible offer, something that people actually want, something that's actually transformational, but that's the key to this. And if you don't have that sort of offer, that sort of service, that sort of outcome you're providing for people, you will never be able to charge a premium price. But if you can charge a premium price and help transforms people's lives or businesses or music or whatever it is that they're doing, then it's going to be more rewarding. It's going to help you build confidence because you're seeing the transformation. It's going to help you weed out those PITA, pain in the butt clients, and it's going to simplify your business. And I don't know about you, but I'm not the type of person that craves complexity in my life and in my business. I want simplicity. So as I wrap this video up, I want to leave you with a resource that could be helpful for you in this moment. And it's my pricing guide and calculator. If you're the person where you're like, I do have a transformational service, I do have something that people should be throwing lots of money at, but I'm not charging what I should be, I want to give you something. And that is my video guide and calculator that walks you through my 3-step process to pricing your projects premiumly. A lot of P's. I'm just going to add all the P's. It's fine. If you want that guide and that calculator, just go to sixfigurecreative.com/premium and you can get that today. Again, if you want that video guide and the calculator for pricing your projects premiumly, just go to sixfigurecreative. It's the number 6figurecreative.com/premium. Go there, put your email address in, and I'll send that your way. So that's it for this video. Thank you for joining me. And remember that it takes more than passion.